My name is Mr. Cambray. I work with the senior string students behind me, 13 very talented guys. And we're going to be playing 4 pieces. The first is by Rimsky-Korsakov, who was a Russian composer of the 19th century, the Romantic era. And of course, during the Romantic era, nationalism and exoticism was very common in writing. So even though it's a Russian composer, he's trying to write in the Spanish style, which was considered very exotic in Russia. And we're playing the first of 4 movements from the Capriccio Español. It's called Alborada, which is a morning song. And the composer here, what he tried to do was try to get an effect of guitars. So you're going to hear at one point in time, the first violin section, which for this piece is in the middle here, will do a combination of left hand and right hand pizzicato at the same time, trying to sound like a guitar. Excellent. So this is Alborada by Rimsky-Korsakov. I've also tried to mix up the ensemble, and I'd like to highlight the first violin section for that piece. Featured Daniel Yu, Philip Kim, and Rami Musa. Okay, so we're going to switch it over to a collection of pop songs that I was hoping, of classical songs that I was hoping would be popular. It's from the movie Fantasia 2000. So it starts off with the very well-known first movement of Beethoven's Symphony No. 5. Then it moves to Elgar's Pomp and Circumstance. I'm hoping this is familiar to a few people. I'm sure you'll recognize it when you hear it. Then we move to Carnival of the Animals. It's a very long piece, so we're just doing a little snippet of it. Of course, Camille Saint-Saëns wrote that. Then we have The Sorcerer's Apprentice. You can imagine Mickey Mouse with his sorcerer's hat and the brooms. That's by Ducat. And then we end with an interesting piece by Stravinsky, 20th century piece. It's the Firebird Suite. So this is 4 pieces kind of melted together into one arrangement from the music of Fantasia 2000. really like this piece because we start with something that's pretty standard, traditional, let's call it strict classical music with the Beethoven, and we move right up into the 20th century where we have things like polytonality, really weird sounds where we're actually playing in two keys at the same time. And we go from a regular meter of 4/4 breaking into a 3/4, and then at the end going to an unstable 7/4 time signature, which is a really great learning experience, I think. All right, now we go into our next piece. Every year I get lots of requests from the class, and I got a great request from the movie Moulin Rouge, the Tango de Roxanne. So whoever's seen the movie remembers the scene where there's a piece of music where we get Roxanne from the Police rearranged in a tango style. Now, of course, this didn't exist in sheet music, so the class is just like, oh, Mr. C, you can write it. And I'm like, well, okay, I'll write it, but what ends up happening is we have two singers that are featured soloists in the movie. Then we have a choir, which is turned into a third solo, and finally we have a very challenging, very typical tango violin line. So what we end up is, I believe, yes, we have 6 violin parts and 1 cello part. So here we are with a pretty dense score, the Roxanne Tango. The singer soloists are Stephanie Mumford and Grace Wang. The choir solo will be played by Rami Moussa, and the virtuoso violin solo will be played by Philip Kim.